Greetings, Earthlings. Mark here with another edition of Weaponized Truth. I came across a pretty big story today, and considering it comes on the heels of many other related stories, this is a pretty big deal. I want to say right off the bat, I want to give a shout out to Eric Spitfire of the Spitfire Sentinel Show. I was watching his live stream today when I became aware of this story, and it's pretty incredible. But I want to show you some of the other incredible stories that have been going on as I lead you into this, and I bring you my final message that will culminate at the end of this. If you make videos trying or write blogs or posts or Twitter feeds, whatever, trying to share the truth, then you need to see this. If you're somebody out there who reads blogs, reads Twitter posts, watches YouTube, and is actively out there trying to seek the truth, you need to see this as well. I've got a very important message for everybody that hopefully that everybody in the truth community can agree upon. And yeah, so let's just get right to it. But a big shout out to Eric Spitfire for breaking this to me. This is a pretty incredible story, and it's all going to culminate into what I believe is a pretty incredible point that I hope that you will all be on board with once I get to the end. We have got a serious issue with the loss of freedom of speech, the fake news in the mass media, and the censorship on social media. We've got some pretty big examples of this stuff going on, and the first one is the biggest one, and it's the one that people in the truth community may have paid the least amount of attention to and maybe should pay the most amount of attention to, and that's PewDiePie. In case you hadn't heard, PewDiePie and Trump aren't hurting the press, but they desperately want to. And this article, what she's talking about here is how PewDiePie has found himself in the middle of a firestorm this week, and his latest video about the situation makes the bizarre assertion that the Wall Street Journal, threatened by his success and influence, is out to hurt him financially. It's a silly assertion backed up by some flimsy logic. PewDiePie, whose real name is Felix Kelberg, is joining his fellow powerful public figures, particularly those in the politically conservative sphere, and claiming that the media can't be trusted and the collective reporting on his videos is a personal attack on him as a person. This is all due to a report the Wall Street Journal published late Monday night, in which the publication highlighted 9 instances of PewDiePie using anti-Semitic and Nazi imagery in the service of comedy. The fallout saw him dropped by his biggest corporate sponsors, which are among the best known in the media: Disney and Google. And I'm sure by now that most of you are familiar with PewDiePie. He runs a comedy type channel on YouTube. He stands alone in subscribers on YouTube. He's got something like 54 or 55 million subscribers, and the next closest person to him has a meager 25 to 30 million subscribers. This guy has managed to build a pretty big empire on YouTube. And he makes one little joke about Jews in his video, and if you've seen the video at all, the whole thing was actually really funny, and that's what he's known for, is just being funny. And they've used a bunch of little things that are actually pretty much nothing to completely try to destroy him and to hurt him financially. Before I jump into everything, I want to tell everybody, especially in the political conservative end of the truth community, that we all need to get together with PewDiePie, because what they don't realize that they've done by censoring PewDiePie is they've just gave us a very powerful 50 plus million subscriber ally in this fight against censorship, which is ultimately a fight against Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, and the elite's plan for the world, and eventually the depopulation of humanity. I'm hoping by now that most of you realize that this is a very serious reality, and it's no longer a conspiracy theory. If you don't, I would highly advise you to look into the subject. But we need PewDiePie on our team, guys. He's in there with the rest of us now, because the same thing that they're doing to all of us, they are now doing to him. And I'll just say, if for some reason PewDiePie happens to see my video, I just want to say, man, I think what happened to you was pretty fucked up, and I think a lot of us in the conservative political circles that are fighting this thing, you need to start going on other people's channels. You need to start spreading the word, and you need to be a leader in this fight against censorship. You have the audience to do it, and we need your back, dude. But let's continue, because PewDiePie is not the only victim of this globalist censorship agenda. And as you can see right here, Wall Street Journal should have tried to get a response from me directly to begin with, not going to brands I work with first. Proves to me their maliciousness, and that's exactly what they're doing. They don't want to just bury the message. They want to completely destroy the lives of anybody who carries the message and the banner of free speech. And let's not forget about Milo. This is an incredibly big story. And I have to say, I was kind of sitting on the fence about this whole Milo thing. You will know that if you've seen my videos already. But I have to say, after just seeing the article and the story that I'm going to get to at the end here, and compiling all these other related stories all together, I've come to the conclusion that I don't care what kind of propaganda they're going to spew out there about Milo. I have decided that Milo Yiannopoulos 100% has my support. And once we get to the end, I'll tell you why. But as you know or may not know, Milo Yiannopoulos is a senior editor for Breitbart. And he is obviously a known agitator. No one on the planet can trigger a liberal like Milo Yiannopoulos. You can say whatever you want about him being gay or all the black dick that he sucked or any kind of anti-Semitic thing you might have wanted to say. For the most part, this is a pretty rational human being. Just has a big ass mouth. And what's happened to him as he became one of the most powerful voices in the country, and he's not even American, he's British. He was set to release a book deal worth $250,000 because he got so big. They didn't just attack his revenue. They straight up used Jake Tapper from CNN to start calling this man a pedophile. And if you start calling someone a pedophile, even with absolutely no evidence whatsoever, you can completely destroy someone's life irreparably forever. And in my opinion, that's exactly what happened here. And not only did he lose a $250,000, $250,000 book deal, he also was forced to resign from Breitbart. And if that wasn't enough, he was scheduled to speak at CPAC, the Conservative Political Action Coalition or Committee or whatever it's called, where people like Nigel Farage and Donald Trump and Ted Cruz and so on and so forth go speak at. And now his voice will no longer be heard there as well. For the time being, his career is completely and utterly destroyed. But I will say this, after a couple of days of having to absorb everything and seeing all the other things that are going on, I will be upfront and honest in saying Milo Yiannopoulos has my 100% support, and hopefully by the end of this video, when I'm done making my point, you guys will give him 100% of your support as well. Let's continue. Now, we've got Reddit censoring people. I haven't even managed to pull up anything because now they're saying I didn't pull up any articles or images about this for my video, but they've actually come out and said they're going to start censoring people in the subreddit of the one about Donald Trump. They're going to start censoring people there, and they've already said they've already went and shut down the forum that was investigating the Pizzagate conspiracy involving Hillary Clinton, and they actually came out and admitted during the election that they were editing and deleting the post of Trump supporters. David Seaman is by far, in my opinion, the biggest voice on Pizzagate on the planet. With the big army of the researchers on YouTube and VOAT.com, which is now being under attack as well. He was having stuff about him deleted from WikiLeaks because of his coverage of Pizzagate, which we are now seeing more and more child pedophilia, child sexual abuse arrests coming, and it's becoming more and more of a reality every day. And David Seaman, even though I couldn't find any actual videos or stories on the subject, is also having videos censored and deleted and demonetized on YouTube because of his coverage of Pizzagate. Let's not forget about Breitbart. They've been a pretty hefty figure in the news. Any sort of news, fake or truth or otherwise. Because as we know, the CEO of Breitbart is now one of President Donald Trump's main advisors in his cabinet. And they try to paint him as some kind of racist anti-Semite to the point where Kellogg's, this big, powerful breakfast brand, decided to pull their ads out of Breitbart altogether, and once again tried to hurt them financially while trying to ruin their reputation altogether. Starting to see a pattern yet? Infowars. Let's talk about Infowars. Everybody's got something to say about Infowars, and everybody's got something to say about Alex Jones. And I could tell you from experience, if you get a big story about Alex Jones or a big story about Infowars or a big story of any of the reporters who work for Infowars, more than likely, even if you have a small channel like mine, there's a good chance you're going to get a video that's going to get 100,000 hits on it. That's just how it is. Alex Jones is right when he says this. Infowars is now maybe one of the top 3 or 4 news agencies on the planet. You can say what you will about Alex Jones, and you can call him controlled opposition. He's created one of the biggest alternative media sites on the planet. He's even had Donald Trump come and do interviews with him. He's got people working with Donald Trump coming on his show all the time. And he started out as another truther, just like the rest of us. He's just been doing it a fuck of a long time. And he's been pretty smart about it, to be honest. And what has happened here, because Infowars gets cited in the mainstream news all the time. Hillary Clinton and everybody else are tweeting about him. And now, this big, huge ad deal they had on YouTube and with their company is just pulled out. They got their app being blocked on iTunes, so people can't download it. And their very hefty advertising deal they had has now been cut because of their political views. So, and I can tell you guys from personal experience, 90% of the people out there who are waking up to the truth, mainly because of what Donald Trump has been doing, since he became president, during the time he was campaigning to be president, most of the people that are waking up to the truth and are still new in the truth community, they go to Infowars. They go to Infowars. A whole bunch of people, I actually wasn't one of them, but there's a lot of people in our truth community who all say the same thing. I watched Alex Jones for a couple of years, and then I graduated on to other things, and I started expanding my horizons. And basically, people want to call Alex Jones like truthers for beginners or something. But too many times do I see this man getting bashed, but the simple fact is, we need him. And but he has just gotten hit with a huge, huge advertising thing as well. And let's not forget about David Flynn, who ended up getting ousted out of the White House. They ended up saying that it had something to do with Russia, where he didn't break the law, but the real fire came onto Flynn when he started making tweets about Pizzagate. Because people with access to the highest level of information in our government are coming out and telling the American people that Pizzagate is real. And they managed to destroy this man and get him out of the government. That is how much power and reach these globalists have. And of course, Donald Trump. God, I love Donald Trump. They've been so egregiously lying about everything in the mainstream media that he actually had to call CNN fake news at a live press conference and had to send out tweets like these saying that the mainstream media is the enemy of the American people. And it's important for you guys to understand, or at least consider the fact, Donald Trump is president. And because he's president, he has access to all sorts of crazy information, from UFOs to anything else that you can possibly imagine that we'll never, ever, ever find out about. Whether you like him or not. All the deepest, darkest secrets you could possibly ever imagine, Donald Trump now knows. And he came out and told you that the media is the enemy of the people. And I don't think this should be taken lightly. You can call him whatever you want, but this man came and turned himself into one of the richest people in the country. Sure, he's filed bankruptcy a couple of times, but he's still pretty damn rich. He still does have his name on buildings everywhere. He still manages to do TV shows. He still manages to marry supermodels who are smoking hot, right? Maybe he's a little orange and all that stuff, and maybe he spent a good chunk of his life being a playboy, but he knows all the secrets. He knows what's going on in the global game. He gets all the information straight from the source, and he's telling the American people, these people are liars, don't listen to them. And considering the amount of information that he now knows, I think this should be taken very seriously. So, what we have here is a story that was brought to me today by Eric Spitfire, and this is from Natural News founder, ex-Infowars co-host Mike Adams. Wrote an article here saying he has been threatened by left-wing media goons. Destroy Alex Jones or we will destroy you. Says, full disclosure, I'm being threatened with the complete destruction of my reputation, my brand, and my character by left-wing media operatives who have issued a new threat this week. Destroy Alex Jones or we will destroy you. Alex Jones is obviously the founder of Infowars. One of the most popular multimedia publishers of pro-American newscape videos and radio broadcasts on the planet. The warning implies that a barrage of left-wing media stories will target me personally, obviously spreading fake news, lies, unless I agree to go public with opposition research, targeting Jones that was previously delivered to me on a physical thumb drive. I destroyed the thumb drive and refused to kowtow the insane criminal agenda of destruction and lies now being pursued by the unhinged, delusional left-wing media. And a lot of these delusional agencies that are funding this stuff, guys, is all done by George Soros. There's actually countries, Russia and others, that actually have warrants out for this man's arrest. He's single-handedly destroyed the currency of like 6 or 7 nations. That's how incredibly rich this man is, and he thinks he's God. And he's came out and said, I think I'm God. Now he said, I have no doubt I'm being targeted with this threat because I previously served as a substitute host for the Alex Jones show for about 3 years. And after he left the show, he was contacted by another media source back in 2013 where they offered him 50 grand to expose Alex Jones, and of course, he refused. There are malicious efforts now underway to take out prominent Trump supporters and silence their support of our president. Now it seems the stakes are even higher because of the victory of President Trump, a true patriot and determined warrior who is waging an epic battle against globalist forces, the fake news media, and the corrupt elements of the so-called deep state. As the publisher of Trump.news, a pro-Trump real news website, I am being targeted as part of a left-wing media effort to discredit and destroy all, not some, all Trump supporters who are prominent media innovators or personalities. The following document, entitled Democracy Matters, Strategic Plan for Action, reveals the sinister tactics of the left-wing media to discredit and destroy any people who support Donald Trump's vision for America. In the next 4 years, Media Matters will continue its core mission of disarming right-wing misinformation while leading the fight against the next generation of conservative disinformation. The proliferation of fake news and propaganda now threatening the country's information ecosystem. And here's what success will look like. And what I want to point out here is they talk about leading the fight against the next generation of conservative disinformation. And what they're talking about is the re-education of kids. If you've seen my channel and you're familiar with my videos, just this week alone, I've done 3 or 4 different videos of teachers who were fired or put on administrative leave because they support the Trump agenda. So this, you got to make sure when they talk about the next generation, they're talking about re-educating your children and to taking on their ideology so they don't have to keep doing this over and over again and they can just brainwash the whole country for forever. Hey, I know it sounds ridiculous, but this isn't coming from me. This is the crap that they're writing in their own documentation. Serial misinformers and right-wing propagandists inhabiting everything from social media to the highest level of government will be exposed and discredited. And we've seen that already with the ousting of Michael Flynn. Internet and social media platforms like Google and Facebook will no longer uncritically and without consequence host and enrich fake news sites and propaganda. So what they're saying is anybody who doesn't go along with their way of thinking on Google, Facebook, Twitter, Yahoo, etc., they're going to start banning them, they're going to start censoring them, and they're going to start pulling their advertising money. And let's keep in mind a couple of things here. Number one, if you go back and look at my other videos, I've shown you there's proof 100% that positive replies to Donald Trump's tweets are being censored by Twitter. They've come out and admitted it. Facebook just came out and released a manifesto for globalization. And these elites who are controlling the media, who have all this money, who are trying to control the narrative and tell everybody what to think, these globalists have a plan for the world, and Facebook has made it very clear with their new manifesto for globalization that they are taking part. And as you've heard, Facebook has been censoring what they call fake news as well. But really what their definition of fake news is anybody who goes against their ideology. Google has also been implicated in the WikiLeaks emails and being a big part of trying to get Hillary Clinton elected. They even went so far as to, when you went in to type in presidential candidates during the election, everybody's name would come up except for Donald Trump's, and they would try to call it a glitch in their advanced algorithms. And even most shocking, egregious action by Google thus far was if you type in the word fascism, they actually changed the meaning of the word to simply to make it anybody who's on the right wing of the political spectrum. I mean, it's disgusting. But this is what's really going on in our planet right now. Now they continue. Toxic alt-right social media fueled harassment campaigns and silence, dissent, and poison our national discourse will be punished and halted. They're saying anybody who doesn't go along with this libtard mentality of inclusion, they're gonna fuck them up. I mean, that's basically what they're saying. This company, Share Blue, is saying they will take back social media for Democrats. We will delegitimize Donald Trump's presidency by emboldening the opposition. And as I've covered in some of my other videos, part of the people who are in on this is Barack Obama. He hasn't left Washington, D.C. He's got a whole army of protesters and anti-Trump people he's made in his organization called the OFA, where he is sitting around plotting the taking down of our current president. So anybody who's on the right, anybody who's a conservative, and anybody who is a Republican, they want to completely ruin their lives. And it says Trump allies will be forced to step down or change course due to news pushed by Share Blue. And they even go so far as to say right here, Media Matters will weaponize our research products to understand and take action against the changing media ecosystem. Right? My channel name is Weaponized Truth, and I told y'all this was coming, and this is what they're saying. They're weaponizing truth to try to brainwash you into shaming anyone who doesn't go along with their ideology. They are going to weaponize it because in their minds, this is in fact a war of information. It says, weaponize our research products to understand and take action against the changing media ecosystem and the extremists seeking to manipulate it. Key alt-right figures will lose credibility and influence in response to our research and pressure. And it says, intimidate Trump supporters into silence or get them to turn on each other. And this is important because we've had this thing going on in this community for a while where everybody in the truth community wants to call each other a shill or some kind of government informant. And I imagine there may be a handful of people out there who may be actual government disinformation people. I am more apt to believe that the things that the government would be involved in would be the fake commenting, the fake number of views count, the censoring, the ad pulling, stuff like that is more the kind of backdoor secret shady thing that the government is usually involved in. And so we've got to make it a point where we can't let them do exactly what they said they would do so they can get us to turn on each other, because it's exactly what they're saying here they want us to do. It's obvious from this document that a whole new effort of malicious intimidation and threats is being deployed against prominent Trump supporters who have achieved any substantial level of new media success. The goal is clear: to intimidate Trump supporters into silence, or even better for the left-wing media, get pro-Trump publishers and journalists to turn on each other and destroy each other from within. I've already seen recent examples of insider attacks being leveled against Alex Jones and Infowars. I have no doubt they have the very same cookie-cutter style attacks will also be recycled to target Natural News and the Health Ranger. We must stand with Trump or we'll lose America forever. But the battle has only just begun. As I've repeatedly warned in my Health Ranger Report podcast, we must now stand with Trump and defeat the insane criminal forces that seek to destroy the nation and silence reason. The radical, unhinged left is now the single greatest threat to the future of our nation, and even Trump told y'all that. and they will use any means necessary to silence or destroy their political opponents, including violating the law, committing acts of extreme violence, publishing malicious falsehoods, citing fictitious sources in their stories, misrepresenting their words with dishonest editing, etc. So I'm going to be crystal clear in my message to these criminal left-wing bullies and intimidation operatives. Come and take it. You want to silence me? Bring it, bitches. Patrick Henry said, "United we stand, divided we fall. Let us not split into factions, which must destroy that union upon which our existence hangs." And that's where we're at, guys. This is a real war against the truth. This is very biblical indeed. They want you to believe up is down, down is up, a boy's a girl's a boy, and so on and so forth. They're twisting everybody's minds and trying to turn reality backwards on itself, and they want us all to implode on each other. 90% of the people out there who are just waking up to the truth movement because of what's going on with our president go to Infowars. We can no longer afford for anybody in our truth community, for any reason, I don't care what kind of past beef you have, we can't criticize Alex Jones anymore. We need him in this fight. Infowars is a massive machine that's one of the biggest on the planet, and we have to get the truth out there any way possible. There's a whole bunch of you guys out there making truth videos and writing truth blogs who all talk about how you watched Jones for years, but then you graduated to other stuff. So don't give me a bunch of crap about Alex Jones. And you know what? And this is once again why I say, even after everything that happened, Milo Yiannopoulos has my 100% support now. Right? David Seaman has my 100% support. PewDiePie has my 100% support. All right? We have to support each other, and we have to stay in this thing together. Even people, little nobodies like me with 850 subscribers have to stay in this thing together. Because you know what? Maybe in a year or two, I could be the guy sitting here with 1 million subscribers. So could the next guy. We don't know what's going to happen. But I do know what's going to happen if we all turn on each other and we don't have each other's backs and stay unified in this fight against the globalists and their disinformation campaign. We have to stay unified in this thing, guys. And I'm calling on everybody in the truth community and everybody who's just out in the community just watching videos and trying to learn. Don't let them lie to you. Don't let them get you to believe that David Seaman is nuts. Don't let them have you believe that PewDiePie's a racist. It's ridiculous. Don't let them get you to believe that Alex Jones is out of his mind. Don't let them get you to believe that Milo Yiannopoulos is a pedophile. Or all you're going to do is you're going to keep seeing more and more and more social sites try to censor us from the truth. But eventually, as more things like Gab pop up and they become more popular, we will no longer need their sites, we will no longer need their permission, and we will no longer need their help. It is not going to happen overnight, but we are going to build our own machines to fight this thing. We aren't always going to need them, and I just wanted to put everybody on notice to stand up. We have to stop believing the bullshit they're trying to manipulate us with, and we got to stand together. I love you guys. Y'all take care.